Friends, good morning, good afternoon. In this session, we are going to see difference between view and indexed view, and one more thing, indexed view or materialized view in detail. First thing first, there is a select star from view underscore emp means we are getting the data from that particular view. Correct? Means there is a in the background of view select query is written, right? In select query, what it contains means it contains the table A, table B join and A, B, D, E column. Correct. And there is a processed data means aggregated data it means sum, count, mean, max, average, or there is a filtered data or a filter data it means there is a where clause is used for 2023 or 2022 year data we want. And then computed data it means there is a first name plus last name is equal to full name means derived column is generated. So we are getting the data in the form of select query, right? And every time when we are calling the view select star from view emp, then we in the background that select query is execute on the SQL server. We are getting the data from the database, right? So same thing in the index view, only one thing is added at here. Yeah, here is the same select query. On top of that, there is a index is created on that view means there is a indexed view means it contains the index on the view means let's say uh, there are four columns means we are getting from the select query a b d e, and we have to create the index on that particular view. Then we can call it as a indexed view or materialized view. And the index like a unique clustered index, and there are n number of non-clustered index, and with the help of that we can sort out the data very quickly. And when we see the performance of the view as compared to the index view is much better. Why? Because that data is stored on the disk means data is physically available on the database. Database is available on the disk. Correct. Means when we are executing select star from view underscore emp, there is a select statement. So in indirectly we are getting it from the database or a disk. How we are calling the index view data is stored at somewhere it means on the means in the database having the tables views. One thing, database having the data as well as structure it means schema. View having the select query, correct? So that is nothing but the definition means that is the structure, and second thing is the data. So that select query result is somewhere present in the database means there is a index is created on that, right? And then that data, that database is available on the disk. So every time no need to miscall that particular all the underlying table. We are getting the data from the disk. That is data means data is already available, so no need to compute again and again. And data is, yeah, and you are saying how data is refreshed, correct? So when there is a dml statement happen on the table a or table b, then indirectly means there is a in the background index view, there is a index is created, correct? So that index will modify, got it? So downside of this materialized view means suppose there is a mm, n number of statements or a n number of operations or happen on the front end side or application side, then yeah it might lag because it will take some time to update it, or some there is a calculations aggregated operations are available on that particular index view. Yeah, obviously no problem. But there is a reporting application means let's say we are storing the data means for years or months wise data we are storing. And one more thing in that there is a situation where a very rare, in rare cases there is a DML operations are happened on that particular tables, then it is very useful. Why? Because the we are getting the data as means ready-made data we are getting from it, means there is a no need to process every time. Data is already processed at some location. We need to just access it. That's it. So yeah, practical wise we will see it in detail. Yeah, before going to in practical, we will see the definition of it so that you will get the clear idea. Materialized view are also logical view of our data driven by the select query. Correct. Means with the help of select query, uh, we are getting the data, right? And definition, yeah, in database there is a definition is stored and data is stored in the database. Means or means we can call it as a disk as well. Means on disk there is a database, on database there is a multiple tables and views, and uh, inside that data is stored. Correct. And when we see the performance of materialized view, it is better than the normal view. Why? Because data is materialized view is will stored in the table. Correct. Means there is a table having the indexes. Same here. Means view data is in the form of row and column format. Means we can call it as a table, and table we are having the index on the view instead of the table. That's it. Means we can call it as an index view. And means conclusion point of view, select query data is stored at somewhere, and that is in a sorted order so that we can get the data very easily. No need to run the select query at n time. That is the purpose behind of it. Yeah, that's it. And how to create the index view or a materialized view? Yeah, create view, view name, and then with schema binding we required, and as select query. Means in the normal view we are using the select query, create view, view name. Only here we have to add the with schema binding. Yeah, and here we required the unique clustered index is required on top of that view. Means when we create the view, then we have to create the unique clustered index after creation of the view. And we can create yeah, non-clustered index on it. And what is the difference between the view and normal view and materialized view or index view? In view, query result is stored in the disk or database. Yeah, actually here is nothing but the select query. And select query we are getting the data from the disk database, right? No problem. But in that data is not stored. We are getting the runtime. We select that table from table with joins, and then there is a where clause, and then we are getting the data. Correct. So but in case of the materialized view, allow to store the query result in the disk or a table. Correct. And then next thing, when we create the view using any table or row ID of view is same as the original table, but in case of the materialized view, row ID is different. How? So first of all, this is the select query. Correct. And select query means there is a daily milk collection table, registration, and there are two to three different table, milk time master, milk type master. So we are getting the data from that select query. Correct. And after that there is a row ID, means that s- record means stored at somewhere. Correct. And we are getting the data, so it contains the original uh, row id, right? But in terms of the materialized view, in here is the means suppose there is a this data is copy it and paste it at somewhere meant another location, so row id must be different. That's why this is the second point mentioned. And then performance of view is less than materialized view. Yeah, as we said, we created the unique clustered index on the materialized view or index view, then yeah, obviously performance will be the fast. But in practical way or practical manner, I have to show you. And then fourth one, it's only the logical view of the table, no separate copy of the table. But in case of the materialized view, we will get the physical separate copy of the table, correct? Because here this is the select query and that result is some present at some place, and then we are retrieving the data from that place. Got it? And then yeah, these are the node point of view. Means order by clause we can't use it, we can't use. And then instead of the count function we can use the count of b, count, count underscore b. We can star or one, yeah, depend on the our requirement. And yes, I will write the same things on my blog. And one more thing, there is a select query. Actually, I use in this session. So you will get all this data or select statement or this query. Actually, I can easily put this select query in my blog. But one more thing, how this data means daily milk collection, dairy project is formed, and then there are miss in the daily meal collection there is I think 7 lakh something records, but how to generate it? So I created the one SQL project at here, means learn SQL with sagar.blogspot.com. Go to here and then go to the dairy project, and here I mentioned the system from scratch. And you have to just go from the miss video at the there is a part 1 part 2, there are 5 to 6 part I created. And yeah, there is a create table script, insert data script, so you will get all the things at here. And yeah, so here we go. And first thing first, we have to create the index view, correct? So this is the select query, right? I am not using the where clause here. So how much data we are getting right now? So yeah, 7 lakh 15,000. So we are exploring this example, means this is the select query. We are getting the data from it, means there is a 3 to 4 tables we joined here. Daily milk collection, registration. Daily milk collection contains the transactional data, means we collected the milk from farmers at morning time, evening time for buffalo or cow. And there is a quantity, amount, fat value, snf value, rate, all these things are present in the daily milk collection. And there is a registration is nothing but the farmers data. And then there is a milk time master, miss morning and evening. Milk type means there is a cow or buffalo, so we are getting this data, right? And I have to create a index view on it, right? How to create that? Very simple, create view name. With schema binding we have to mention it and then execute it. Yeah, means we create the view, indexed view for that particular select query. And if we are using the view, then you will get the data, right? And what I filtered at here means there is a 5th of June 2023 to the 9th of June, 9th of, yeah, 9th of June 2023. I wanted data. So there are 13K records we are getting it here. And here you see there is a how many tables are available at here, means there is a registration table 15K records. Here you can see there is a last seventh row, sixth row or seventh row, estimated number of rows for all execution. So 50,000 records are read during this operation. And then for daily meal collection, there is a 13k because it is the index seek operation, sorry, index scan operation happened, and we scan the data for 715108 means top 6. There is a 71510 actual number of rows to be read, and from that we are retrieving the only 13k records, right, based on the date. So and after that we are joining the miss daily milk, miss milk time master, miss morning and evening, and then milk time and milk type miss cow and buffalo. But here we are getting all the data, and every time when we are executing this query, so obviously we need to look at this miss underlying table, and then we are getting the data. So I'm creating the clustered index on it. If I'm going to create a clustered index on it, then how, then create the clustered index on it. So here they are saying because unique clustered index are allowed, not the clustered. So we have to mention the unique clustered word. Here create unique clustered index name on view name, and then there is a one column you can mention or multiple columns you can mention. Here I required the date time as important, that's why I mentioned the date time over here. And if I am making the, I am just use the date time column, then it will not create. Why? Because there is a multiple value for that particular date time, because for 5th of June 2023, then multiple values are present. Yeah, let's try. And then yeah, because there is a duplicate key value, and here is the clustered index can allow value, but unique is mentioned, so it will not allow duplicate. That's why. So I'm including the transaction ID column. So executing it. Yeah, got it. First of all, execute this statement again. Yeah, within a fraction of second we got the data, right? And in execution plan, previous execution plan was a very different. So next query is select transaction ID, date time, liter quantity, amount from the view where customer code is equal to 275. So what I am doing here means I want data for that particular only that customer, means there is a 275, and for all the data means there is a for year 2023. Right now if I am making as I am collecting the data for one, yes, so data is different, means there is a from 2022 to 20, I think must be 2023 as well. Yeah, 2021 means it is the combination of multiple date and time here. And yeah, so date wise we are getting the data, right? So here if you see the execution plan of here, and then in from registration table there is a 50k records, right? And here there is a 715 means estimated, but here 715108 actual number of rows to be read, means there is a large number of records we are reading from it. And there is a one thing we have to mention, means let's say we have to create the index on the customer code if we are regularly using it. Then how to create that? First of all, I'm using these four columns into the include clause, and then where column is in the, this is nothing but the covering index. And so I am creating that non-clustered index at here, and yeah, execute it and then check it. So we are getting the data, but still same, means there is a 50,000 records, and here there is a 7171510 if there is a top sixth row, correct? But I am using it with no expand option, means it will directly hit to the view. So let's start, let's check. Yeah, means within a fraction of second we are getting the data, and then there is a index seek is called, and out of means there is a n number of records here, and only 27 means only 214 records are calling. That is the drastic in miss change in that particular previous query, and miss query wise it is same, but we have to use that option and we have to create the non-clustered index on that particular view. Then you will get the data very quickly. If you are using the 275 or 1, execute it. Yeah, 2920 records. And if you see the execution plan, there is a indexing is called, and there is a miss very efficient way to get the data from the SQL Server very quickly. No expand. With the help of this option means we are calling to the particular view instead of all the tables. If you execute it, then in execution plan you can see there is a multiple tables are underlying tables are called here, but we means here we are getting the data from view, but in the background of view we are getting the data from multiple things, means multiple tables, I can say. And here we have to mention that option means with no expand, so we will get the data very quickly. And here if we wanna, because if we are executing the data from here, and why we are this clustered index is called, because means clustered indexing is called why, because here the date type is mentioned, and same on there is a date time it's called, correct. So that is the perfect index is called, and we are having the start means there is a all the columns is mentioned in that particular view. That's why it is the execution plan is saying, yeah, indexing is calling. Got it? On the disk, if you execute this query, so you will get means how much space occupied by that particular view. Let's say 715108 record count, and then there is a total MB means total space occupied, but there is a we created the two indexes on it. Means first is the 107 MB for that particular unique clustered index, and there is a non-clustered index, right? And one more thing, suppose there is a miss there is a refresh view or a, how that index will get affect. First of all, I'm inserting um, some records into the particular table daily meal collection, then automatically it will affect. How to do that? So I am executing this script. Actually it will available on, sorry, it is available on the, yeah, means dairy project. Then there is a part, insert data script, open it, and then here is the script to insert the data in the registration, and then there is a mm, daily milk collection table. Okay, means from customer ID, correct, at here. And if we execute it, so I am stopping it right now, and previously there was a 715 something, right now there is a 719 something, right? And here you, I am just copying it for your, yeah, here you get, right, means there is a 71510, and right now 719996, and uh means based on that particular size is also affected, and miss 107, and right now there is a 109. And yeah, for example, if we execute for one, there is a 29 something records, and right now there is a 5840. Got it? So yeah, there are some 00 records, and after that we are updating it. And here is the means 5840 records we are getting. Yeah, conclusion is that there is a select query. Means for normal view, we can use this select query in the view, correct? And we are getting the result. But when we are calling the view, every time it execute, means that select query will execute and we will get the data, right? But in case of the uh, materialized view or index view, there is a data is present, means that select result, whatever that result behind that particular view, that result is stored, means data is stored at somewhere, means in the view, and we are getting that data, right? Means suppose let's say on disk there is a database, and database having the structure plus data. Structure, it means definition, means whatever that select query return, or there is a stored procedure definition or a view definition, correct? And that is nothing but the structure. And data means this is the data, right? So table having the data and we were also having the data, right? So that data is stored in the disk, and we are calling that data ready made, means there is a ready data is available ready from the database, and we are just calling that query, and then we are getting the data. That's it. Means let's say select star from view, so view is calling to this data and we are getting the data because already data is available at some place. That's it. And second thing, there is a expand option, means no expand, it means suppose there is a, if we are executing this query and in the background of that there is a 5840 records are getting. And okay, so here in background there is a sometime, if there is a index seek is not called, means there is a row, means 587, how much records we are getting at here. First of all, execute it. Yeah, 5840 records. I am include the execution plan, and execution plan is read from left to the right, means bottom to the top. Yeah, so here 5840 records are calling, and key lookup by key lookup occur. Actually, here we are retrieving all the columns. So instead of that, if we are executing, if we are include only four columns at here, then execute it and then execution plan will different, correct? So here is the registration table as well as daily meal collection is calling, right? How to avoid this thing? So there is a in enterprise edition, it is by default we are getting that with no expand option. But there is a other than the enterprise edition, we have to use this clause with no expand, so it will directly hit to that particular view definition with view data. Execute it and see the execution plan. So there is a 5840 records are calling, and there is a nothing, means index proper index seek it's called, no any index scan, no need to travel through the uh, daily meal collection table or a registration table. You are, miss, you will get the data from the view itself. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, please share it and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Bye bye.